Biden, G7 joint declaration will ensure support for Ukraine will last long into the future. U.S. President Joe Biden said members of the Group of Seven are launching a joint declaration to make it clear that our support will last long into the future. In remarks with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Japanese President Fumio Kishida at the NATO summit in Vilnius, Lithuania, Biden said we're not waiting for the NATO accession process to play out before guaranteeing long-term security commitments to Ukraine. This starts a process by which each of our nations and any other nation who wishes to participate will negotiate long-term bilateral security commitments with and to Ukraine. We're gonna help Ukraine build a strong, capable defense across land, air and sea. It will be a force of stability in the region and deter against any and all threats, Biden said. The U.S. president promised to help Ukraine for as long as that takes. Zelenksy, NATO summit was a meaningful success for Ukraine. President Volodymyr Zelensky said Wednesday that the outcome of the NATO summit in Vilnius was much needed, calling the summit a meaningful success for Ukraine. He thanked the NATO leaders for their practical and unprecedented support and said that the Ukrainian delegation was going to return home with security guarantees. Today there are security guarantees for Ukraine on the way to NATO, an important package of security guarantees. Today we are coordinating with G7 countries. The framework for security guarantees that shall be further extended through arrangements with our key partners, bilateral and multilateral agreements, he said. The Ukrainian delegation is bringing home a significant victory for Ukraine, for our country, for our people, for our children. It opens for us absolutely new security opportunities. Zelensky appeals for security guarantees on our way to NATO membership. President Volodymyr Zelensky said Ukraine is on the way to NATO membership, and that in the process, it needs effective security guarantees. While we are on our way to NATO membership, Ukraine needs effective security guarantees on the way to the alliance. We now have an appropriate package of guarantees, and I ask you to support and join it, the president said in a series of tweets. Zelensky also referred to the conditions that Ukraine must meet to accede to NATO. Some Ukrainian officials have described these as vague or unclear. The absolute majority of our people expect specifics about these conditions. We perceive them as security conditions. We understand that Ukraine cannot become a member of NATO while the war is ongoing. But then it will be our common strength when Ukraine joins the alliance, he said. Earlier Wednesday, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg said that the joining the alliance was always conditions-based and mentioned interoperability of forces. Earlier Wednesday, Zelensky criticized the alliance, saying it was absurd that a timeline had not been set for Ukraine's invitation and membership to NATO.